This is a Finding Lekker video, our Orange River trip with Alan and Yvette. Our first day's ride was from Somerset West to Vredendal, with stops in Malmesbury for coffee, Saldanha Bay for a delivery, and then the West Coast Road all the way up to Elandsby, where we turned inland and headed to Vredendal for our first night's campsite. We spent our first night at the Dryhoek Plaaskamp. It's a functioning farm with organic oranges where we pitched the tent, relaxed, had coffee, and enjoyed some of the local oranges. Day 2 was from Vredendal to Felix Unite, where we crossed the Knashvlakte, a warm 13 degrees all the way.
That's the reception area, the shop up there. There are our rides. This is the camping site and the bar down there. What you are looking at over there is the Orange River flowing quite nicely with some minor rapids. This is the pool at Felix Unite. That's the restaurant up there that you're looking at. This here is obviously the bar with its deck area.
Chocolate milkshakes made with rum and raisin ice cream. Very tasty indeed. The next morning early, we packed the tent away, packed all our kits into buckets, loaded the canoes and set off down the river, with a couple of stops, first for coffee, then that evening to pitch our camp. There's our home for the night, and of course our guides and chefs were Davy and Jose. All meals were prepared on the fire, breakfast, lunch and dinner. These guys certainly know what they're doing when it comes to camping. And of course took my own coffee, which was pretty damn good, and I enjoyed every mouthful of it. Day 2 was a relaxed start with a short paddle to our lunch stop and a short paddle to our evening campsite, where some of the group went up the hill to collect the special stones with the fluorite in them. The family Robinson, who joined us on our trip, was a family from Somerset West: Evan, Fran, Sasha and Chase. What a great adventure for the family. For the last evening, Davy produced the most amazing roast lamb and vegetables while we waited for the embers to die down.
Yeah, they say these rocks are called the fluoride rocks. They mixed with...
Well, if this is in my toothpaste, I'm never brushing my teeth again.
Not near a fire anyway. So use hot water.
The last day on the river had a very early start so we can get to our takeout point on time. We then took the canoes out the water, loaded everything onto the bus and headed back to Felix Unite for our much deserved showers and a good lunch. Our return journey from Felix Unite was uneventful. We went from there to the Nama Bike Camp for the first night on the way back. Nama Bike Camp has pre-pitched tents, so we didn't have to pitch our own tent that was full of sand and dust and still very wet. At least we had a really good night's sleep and ready for the next leg. The last leg from Nama Bike Camp to Somerset West was great. We stopped at Cardussy on Pekingese Kloof Pass for an amazing lunch and a good coffee. We rode into the first light drizzle just outside of Clanwilliam after our fuel stop. By the time we got up to Cardussy, the temperature dropped to about 12 degrees. It was nice and chilly. Fortunately, the restaurant had a really nice fire going, which could warm us up, and the coffee was good to start with. One thing we didn't do was take much video on this trip. On the river, it was difficult because we didn't want to damage your phone or lose it in the water. Everywhere else, it was just a case of not thinking about the video until it was too late. Fortunately, Yvette shot this little bit of video with her cell phone just to show what was possible. Yvette on top of Pekingese Kloof Pass. First thing we had to do before we had lunch was warm up the outside of our bodies, get our hands going, and of course warm up the inside of our bodies. Once that was done, we could sit down and have the most amazing lunch I've had in ages. This place makes a good sandwich. After lunch until we got home, it was cold, wet and miserable, but we still made good time and it was a most enjoyable ride. Hopefully the videos start getting a lot better from here on in. Obviously need a lot more practice, editing the videos and of course the voiceovers. I also need to find good music for my videos and see how we can take it from there. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this as it is so far. Lekker man, lekker.